Hi. Um, I decided to go live tonight. I don't know if anyone will be here, and that's fine, but I need to freaking rant because what is going on in America? What is going on in Pennsylvania? Um, I don't know if anyone saw, I'm sure, I hope that uh, you have, but there was a Twitter heading that was like, Republican senators refused to seat Democratic Senator Jim Brewster, who won re-election in November. This is a bad sign. It says, on Tuesday, Pennsylvania Republicans refused to seat Brewster, who won re-election in November. Republicans also forcefully seized control of the proceedings by removing the Democratic Lieutenant Governor, John Fetterman, from presiding over the session. Um, they're wrestling in the Senate. Okay, like that is literally fascism. That is literal fascism, where government officials are doing whatever they can to stop the swearing in process of a democratic representative. America, what is going on? Um, like the last 10 years, the last 15 years, the last 20 years in the United States have seemed increasingly more and more insane. And it's coming to a point where, like, I don't think it's dramatic for me to say, um, it's revolution time, like French Revolution time, not American Revolution. Um, Overthrowing the bourgeoisie. Like, how about y'all put that Second Amendment to use for what it was really originally for? It's about that time, isn't it? Oh my God. Also today, uh, both Jacob Blake's murderers were not indicted, and that scumbag teenager who murdered a few people in the Blake protests pled not guilty. America, explain, please. What is going on? Hello, Dragon Fox. Um, I like I'm not an American, but the rest of the world has literally no choice but to pay attention to the insanity going on in your country because we like we have no choice. It's everywhere and it's every single day something new and crazy and fucked up is going on. And it is I don't every day I think, well, it can't get worse. And then it does. And then it does. So what is it going to take for things to change as far as fascism is going on in the United States of America? Because I think about how, like, all June and July, literally millions and millions and millions and millions of people up and down and left to right, the entire country, were hitting the streets demanding change and justice for George Floyd's murder, but also, a ton of other a ton of other people murdered by police brutality. Like millions and millions and millions of people spent 2 solid months and continuing demanding, screaming for, calling for change, and what has happened? If millions and millions and millions of Americans hit the streets and demanded this change and nothing came of it at all, then what? It's the government's job to listen to y'all. And millions and millions and millions of Americans demanded changes and nothing happened at all. So, what is it going to take? Peaceful protests have changed nothing. Riots have changed nothing. Kneeling has changed nothing. Speaking with representatives has changed nothing. Conversing with police forces has changed nothing. Trying to vote Democratic candidates in has changed nothing. Now what? Now what? Like, every single day, America is walking towards fascism. Hi, Jonquil Jones. I'm so sorry. I do not know what that says. Uh, every day, America is taking more and more steps towards fascism, and like, I'm not going to sit here and say no one's doing anything about it, but I will say nothing is being done about it. People are trying, people have been trying, people are in the streets. Well, yeah, Dragon Fox, I know trans people have changed some legislation and stuff, but like that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the move toward fascism that is happening in the United States, and nobody is speaking out against it in an effective way. Yes, people are protesting, yes, people are trying, but nothing has come of any of it at all. Like, I think about Black Lives Matter and how that movement has been going on. Like, I could be wrong here, but I'm going to say at least since 2013. I know for sure. 2014 maybe, but I think 2013. That's at least 7 years. And what? 7 years of this, and what? What big fundamental changes have come of it? What societal shifts have come of it? After 7 years. I am obviously pro Black Lives Matter, and I believe in the cause, and I'm not trying to like talk down about it in any way. I'm expressing frustration that it's been at least 7 years of this work, and like I said, today Jacob Blake's murderers were not indicted. So, oh, Jungle Jones, I'm so sorry. I see. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. I'm too fired up to have like gotten it. Yes, absolutely. The French Revolution. I mentioned that at the start of this stream. Um, we need a more French Revolution kind of movement than an American Revolution kind of movement, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Um, and I think also about the whole Occupy Wall Street movement, and that broke out into like other Occupy movements across the United States. I think that was in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Um, that was a pretty big movement across the country. And what happened there? Nothing. You've got literal Nazis marching in your streets, and you've got Proud Boys like attacking people and murdering people in the streets. And I know millions and millions and millions of Americans are fighting back, but it doesn't seem like any real good changes have come out of any of this. Dragon Fox, I have to disagree because as an outsider looking in, I think we have a much better view of like uh, every single day. All you hear is new crazy fascist shit that's gone down in the United States every single day. Um, I don't think that one needs to literally live there to see that it is not getting any better, and it's in fact getting worse every day. Like, mm, it's so insane to me. Like, as an outsider looking in, I'm just fired up because of the whole Jacob Blake thing today, and then the Pennsylvania Senate thing today too. Like, What? Like, deliberately wrestling people out of the Senate in order to not swear in a Democratic person who won re-election fair and square is literally fascism. Like, ah, I'm like speechless. I don't really know what else to say because it's crazy. It's crazy. And that's not to say, like, I'm a Canadian, right? And that's not to say that Canada is this perfect utopia where nothing bad ever happens, because that is certainly not true. And I also live in like a province that is basically like the American South. Like, I live in a very conservative province where, we would be akin to Southern Republicans. In my province, we had an election not too long ago, and in my province, only one riding in the entire province did not vote for the Conservative Party, which is your Republican Party. A riding is like an American county, I guess. So in the entire province, there was only one that did not vote for the Conservative Party. And our Conservative Party is fucking insane. But that's a story for another day. So yeah, no, Canada is not like a utopia of peace and harmony. But it's a hell of a lot better than what you guys are unfortunately dealing with. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Weed smunkle. No, I don't play video games. I did as a younger child, but only things like Mario Brothers on my original Nintendo, which I still have and still works. The only video games I've like ever played in my life are like Mario Brothers on Nintendo, and then I had Mario 64. Jonquil Jones, yes. My friend and I, who is also Canadian, but she grew up in the United States, we were talking about this whole thing tonight, both of us. And she said, I'm just going to find the text because it summed it up perfectly. She said, where is it? She said, Americans are all just traumatized. They're in a 300 million person abusive relationship. And, like, yeah, the things that go on there are just so accepted as like normal. And as outsiders, we see it is not normal. Like, things like your Second Amendment, for one. Like, I'm 32 years old. I have never seen a gun in my life. I've never seen one. I've seen them on TV and movies, but I've never seen a gun before. And in the United States, there are places where you can just carry them around in public, either hidden or not hidden. And that's just normal. Like, you could just be in Starbucks and somebody in front of you has a gun on their hip that you can see. And like, if I was sitting in Starbucks and I saw a person in the lineup who had a gun, I would be very afraid. I would get my ass out of there. Like, this person has a gun. What the fuck? And in the States, no one even blinks. Ah, like, ah, that's crazy. Your healthcare system. Um, I always hear like Americans say things like, well, why should my money pay for anyone else's health? And it's like, I am more than happy for my taxes to go to the Canadian healthcare system. More than happy. Like, no, it's not free in the sense that I pay taxes for it, but like, I have never received a bill for any medical care or service. I have never had a moment where I wonder if I should seek medical care or not, or if maybe it'll just be better in the morning and I don't need to worry about it. Like, I have never, my friend had a baby a while ago, and while she was in the hospital here, she showed me the a Instagram post from a woman who also recently just had a baby and had to stay a night in the hospital, but worried and left the hospital sooner than she should have because she was terrified of the bill she was going to receive. And that bill was like $500,000. Meanwhile, my friend had her baby and stayed in the hospital for 3 nights until she felt ready to go home. And even then, her care team was like, you could really stay another night if you want to. And it was like, you know, no bill, no charges. Like, it's crazy. That's just, and paying for your medical care in the United States is just normal. You just got to pay for it, or maybe hope that nothing happens to you and you won't be financially crippled for your entire life. And that's just how it is. You guys don't want to tackle that one too? Like, huh? What? Yeah, Uncle Jones. Like, yes, $1,200. I have this story. My grandparents used to spend their winters in Arizona, and my grandmother has this condition for her heart where she needs, like, sometimes it'll beat way too fast, and she needs, I think it's an injection of adrenaline or something to like get it to slow down. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, this happened when she was in Arizona, and they had to go to an emergency room there and get her injection, and it took all of 10 minutes, and they got a $2,200 bill for it. And my grandfather was just like, well, you know what? Like, we'll just submit it to our provincial health care when we get home, and they will take care of it because that's what you do. However, Alberta Healthcare said, we'll pay for what this treatment costs in our healthcare system. And in our healthcare system, it costs $14. But in Arizona, they're charging $2,200 for the exact same treatment. Like, I don't know if a lot of Americans understand that your healthcare stuff does not cost what they bill you. They just make up a number. They just decide that this hip replacement is going to cost $80,000 or this MRI screening is going to cost $5,000. It does not cost that. It doesn't cost that. And like, it's insane. It's crazy. Yeah. It's wild. And then there's also like, I always hear, and my friend who grew up in the United States told me too, like, for some reason there's this weird myth. Oh yeah, lest we remember, I have asthma. Thankfully, it's not like super chronic. I only really need to use my rescue inhaler like 5 times a year. But I pay $3 for it once a year. $3 for my Ventolin salbutamol inhaler once a year. I don't remember what I was just saying, but it's wild to me. It is so wild. And sad. I mean, obviously, like, I have a lot of American friends that I care about and love very much, and it's like, oh, I remember what I was saying. There's a myth that I've heard from American people before, a lot on the internet, whatever, that like that what am I trying to say? Oh, that Canadian doctors will just go and live in the United States and practice there because they'll make so much money. And it's like, no. Canadian doctors become doctors because they want to be doctors, not because they want to make a ton of money. Like, Yeah, it's not normal for healthcare professionals to be crazed about money and what things cost. Like, it's called health care. Health care. Ah. It's wild. It's so wild. It's nuts. I don't even know if I can. I don't know. My dad just texted me right now and said the Democrats are leading in Georgia. So, see, like, my Canadian father is following what's going on in the state of Georgia, a place we have never been anywhere even remotely close to. But because that's what happens in other countries, we get your freaking news cycle media 24/7. But yeah, that's good to know. At least the Democrats are leading in Georgia. Lest we remember, in Australia, inhalers are free. I have family with asthma. Makes me so upset to think how some could actually have died in other places. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, someone will always say, well, it's not free. Like, your taxes go to pay for that. But, like, yeah, you don't get a bill for it. Yeah. It's like, I think there's only, what, two countries on planet Earth that don't have some kind of a universal healthcare system in place. And one of them is the supposed greatest, most powerful country on Earth. No, Dragon Fox, clearly they're not going to take an interest in what others are doing better. Very clearly, because nothing has changed in your country for how many years? Obviously not. I really recommend that documentary called Where to Invade Next by Michael Moore. Is his last name? Is his last name Moore? But he travels around the world seeing all the great things that other countries are doing and what America should start doing. But, of course, that's never going to happen. Yeah, we don't, well, in my province anyway, our provincial healthcare does not cover dental, which sucks. But all medical stuff is covered, so that's good. But I have benefits at work, so my dental costs are covered, which is really nice. But I didn't get that until I was 31 years old. But you know what? If I can't have dental coverage, but I can have 100% of my healthcare covered, then fine. That's a fine trade off for me. Like, yeah. And I mean, if you're low income or whatever, there are certainly things you can do here to get dental coverage. Like, you you can get like benefits or like low income, whatever. No, I only got, lest we remember, I only got um dental coverage at 31. Obviously, I went to the dentist before I was 31. I took really great care of my teeth. I have never, I've never had braces or anything, and every time I go to the dentist, they always ask me if I'm sure I've ever never had braces because I have like perfectly straight teeth just naturally. So no, I had, I went to the dentist for preventative care my entire life, but I didn't get benefits to pay for it until I was 31. That's funny. Benefits or something else, I tell you. Whew, my healthcare benefits through work cover things like massages. I can write off my work shoes, like my running shoes. They cover things like acupuncture therapy, mental health therapy, all kinds of cool stuff. Stuff I don't need or won't use because I'm a pretty healthy-ish person, but that's pretty nice. We're getting off topic here. I want to talk about how crazy America is. But maybe I should wrap this up because I don't really have much more to say because I'm a little bit burnt out because before I went live here, I had like a half an hour long vent session with my best friend. And then she had to go to a meeting, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go on YouTube and rant it out. But I'm feeling a little ranted out now, so I don't know. unless anyone has an on-the-spot topic for me to rant about. Hello, Mariana Morton. Yeah. Yes, get men out. Honestly, get them out. Men have created the systems we all live within, so fuck them, not literally, and overthrow them. And yeah, French Revolution style. Come on, you guys. That's the only thing that's gonna help because peaceful protests and riots haven't helped, and ugh. Yo, what the fuck, Mariana? I have a topic. I keep going on TikTok and I keep on seeing people trying to tell me to make an OnlyFans account and I'm 13. That is fucked up. That is terrifying. That ugh, I'm really sorry that that's happened to you. That is disgusting. I don't really know how to use TikTok other than to watch things, but I would look to see if there's like settings where only certain people can comment or something because you should definitely protect yourself. It's not your job or it's not your responsibility to like police people and their disgusting behavior, but you also have to do what you have to do to protect yourself, and that's disgusting. God. Yes, get the guillotine emojis. Well, Dragon Fox, I do have ideas, and it's like revolution or bust. Like everything else you guys have tried hasn't done any good, so that is scary, lest we remember. What the fuck? Filming people dying and you don't know if they're giving consent. I would hope they're giving consent to try to like make the reality of this illness known, but that's really scary. Where I live in Canada is like one of, if not the worst for COVID cases. Ugh, Mariana, that's really gross. That oh God, this is off topic completely, but that like quote unquote sex work is considered like totally mainstream and normal and no big deal these days. Like with things like OnlyFans is really scary. That anyone can just like become a quote unquote sex worker and like sell naked pictures of themselves to perverts and encouraging children to do this. Oh God. Like, well, that's one reason I'm a separatist because I really think there's like literally no hope for women and girls who continue to engage in patriarchal society. Like, that's another thing. Like, there's just no hope. Like, women have also been trying for tens of thousands of years to reform men and nothing. So, oh, God, ew. That's disgusting. It's really awful, Mariana. I'm very sorry. Ugh. When Dragon Fox, when you said the proud men, are you referring to the proud boys, like the Nazis? Jonquil Jones, yes. Males are broken. We should stop making so many of them. Yes. God, that's like I am. I know y'all know I am very much an antinatalist. Having more children is not good for the earth, and it's not good for society, and it's especially not good for women. There's there's genuinely no good rational reason for birthing more human beings, especially in a 2021 world where the earth is doomed. Like, not only like as far as the climate, but like society, like all steps are leading toward fascism. Like, what How could anyone with a even half decent conscience want to bring an innocent baby into this world and have them grow up to inherit God knows what? Like, we're like, climate scientists well agree we are way past the safe point. We're way past it. All we can do is try to manage what we have, and no one will even do that. So, hi, Beatrix. Yeah. So I'm a full on antinatalist. I think it's unethical to have children in this day and age, um, for all kinds of reasons. But people get real mad when you talk about that. Yeah. But I just, yeah, it's unethical. It's bad for women. And and I've said this before, but like, creating more children only creates more victims of patriarchy and more perpetrators of patriarchy. Like, I hear women all the time say things like, I'm going to teach my son how to respect women and I'm going to teach my daughter to be strong. And it's like, okay, please do, but you are not the only influence in your child's life. In fact, you're a very tiny influence in your child's life. Like, 1/3 of a child's entire life is spent at school away from you. Like, Beatrix, no, I haven't even come close to starting with Nancy Pelosi. I started with the Pennsylvania Senate and Jacob Blake, and then I got to the craziness of America and how y'all need to French Revolution this shit. I haven't even gotten anywhere near Nancy Pelosi. I don't even know if I have the energy. Anyway, yeah, this is like a mess. I don't know. Yeah, like, school is a huge influence in children's lives. Um, there's other adults in children's lives, TV, media, social media, like news. So there's no ethical way to have children in a 2021 world where the planet is dying and society is garbage. Um, I don't know how anyone with a good conscience, I don't know how any woman who has survived girlhood in order to become a woman could take the risk of having a daughter, knowing what she went through, knowing what she survived, like, knowing what her daughter is going to be exposed to, which is going to be tenfold worse than what we grew up with. Like, thankfully, when I was a child, um, the worst thing was like a Playboy magazine, soft core, like soap opera filtered nudes. And now, at the click of a button, children have very simple, unrestricted access to like literal torture pornography of like extreme violence, like, trigger warning, y'all, I'm gonna go there. Extreme violence, bloody, abusive, physically disgusting. Like, that's what children see these days on the internet because it's so easy to access. Like, there's no ethical way to have a child in this world. I just don't think there is. Um, the only option is to raise them so severely sheltered and removed from society, and that does a lot of damage too. So then what? Like, and people always get mad when I talk about this, but I don't really care. Yeah, I'm still like young. I'm only 32, but I have literally zero relation to the whole biological clock thing. Like, I know women so much younger than me who are like, oh, I can't wait to have a baby. I need a baby. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Ugh. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a lesbian, so like, yeah, I don't know. Um, okay, yeah, maybe it's because I'm a lesbian in that, like, obviously I have no desire for anything revolving men, but I don't understand the whole thing. I can't believe women take the risk of trusting the medical establishment with their health during pregnancy. Yeah. Hey, I have an entire series of videos about this because I've been reading to you guys, witches, midwives, and nurses. I have one more part to do and then it'll be done, but there's 6 parts on my channel already about the history of the medical establishment as we know it today and the ways it has deliberately excluded women and harmed and damaged women. So check that out because oh my god. I'm a lesbian and I don't want kids, but one of my lesbian friends is currently pregnant with her second child. Ugh. Yuck. Sorry. My best friend in the entire world has a 15-month-old daughter. Her child is named after me. I love that child very much, and I always will. But that doesn't mean that, like, still to my core beliefs, I'm not an antinatalist. Like, I'm not going to be like, how dare you have a baby? Like, that's not what it's about. But yeah. Ugh. Yeah. It weirds me out that gay and lesbian couples have biological babies in some kind of way. Men rent women and women impregnate themselves with men's sperm. Wow. Ugh. What the fuck? Yeah, that makes no kind of sense to me. Oh, speaking of the vaccine, my one of my good friends got the COVID vaccine today because she works in a long-term care home with senior citizens. And she gets her second dose at the end of the month. I'm so jealous. Oh, yeah, adoption all the way. There are millions of children in this world who need families to take care of them. Like, hello. I know, I'm so jealous of my friend who got the vaccine today. In Alberta, here, they're doing the vaccine in waves. So, wave one is like doctors and nurses who work on COVID floors, respiratory therapists, senior citizens, and those who work in senior citizen lodgings. Um, um, that's wave one. There's some other groups in wave one. I think I will be in wave two, which will be late February, early March, or maybe April. I'm not sure. And that's like other healthcare workers or those who work in a hospital, which I do. So fingers crossed that I get my vaccine soon. Mariana, how do I get rid of the shame and guilt for having radical feminist values? It makes me feel like I'm transphobic. Yeah, I agree with Jonquil Jones here. There's no such thing as transphobia. Um, I mean, back up. There certainly are things that are transphobic, like thinking trans people are gross or that they deserve to be murdered or whatever. Like, you know, but believing that men aren't women is not a bad thing. Absolutely listen to your gut. Like, your instincts know what's right and what's wrong. And knowing that men will, can, might harm you is, yeah, it's not transphobic. You need to look out for yourself. And if that involves, like, I mean, you're only 13 years old. If that means that you can't express radical feminist views or you can't, among your peer group or whatever, share that you don't agree with them, like, that's okay. You're 13. You've got so much time ahead of you to like develop your thoughts and come into your own. Y'all, I really don't want to see any anti-vaccine discussion in this chat. Like, you're entitled to your opinions, but I'm entitled to say what I do and don't want to see on my own live stream. Please do not bring that crap to me and my videos. No. Ah, Beatrix, I am sorry. I think I interpreted you saying no vaccine for me as you being like anti-vaccine. Oh gosh, I'm very sorry for my misinterpretation. I just reread your comment again and I see that that's not what you were saying. I'm sorry. And I'm really sorry for your loss too. Uh, I'm sorry. That really is awful. That really sucks. Oh man, this shit is wild. I am so lucky. Well, let's remember, I understand that you have questions, but I am not a scientist who works on developing vaccines, nor is anyone in this chat, so here is not the place for it. Like, I'm sorry to be blunt, but that's just how it is, and I'm sure you can find information on medical peer-reviewed journals. Maybe you could ask on Reddit and the No Stupid Questions subreddit. I learn everything in life from there. What are my thoughts on removing men from the equation? Which equation? From society? From the world? Are you talking male genocide? Like what exactly do you mean? Can you please clarify? If only men would vanish except for sperm donors. No, we don't need sperm donors. This earth does not need more children. We don't need to be creating babies. Like, we need a break from all that. This earth is dying. What? There's no. There's nothing for children who are born in the last year and in all the future. What are they going to have to grow up in? The earth, we're past the point of saving the earth from climate change. That's well established. What are these children going to grow up into? Like, yikes. Um, Removing men from the equation, male genocide. Mm, I mean, I'm not a violent person, so, I'm content to be a separatist. I think more women should be separatists. I think there's much value in women's land. That doesn't mean that women's land also does not mean like the middle of the woods, living off the grid, away from society forever. But yeah, we don't need to kill men. We just need to stop making more men and living in a way that doesn't involve men in our lives to the fullest extent that we can. Like, it's actually pretty simple. Most of us, lots of us do. Lots of us don't involve men in our personal lives, in our private lives. You know, like, yeah, we might interact with men at work and we really don't have a choice there, but like, you can still live a pretty separatist life. Did you assume a pickle? Are you lost? Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but send men to work so they can bring home the bacon is like the opposite of everything I stand for as a radical feminist, a lesbian, and a separatist. My videos, my channel, my content is not here for this. Would I be an antinatalist if the climate catastrophe would be solved? Yes, because because women have been, are, and will continue to be exploited for their reproductive labor. So, yes, I would be an antinatalist if tomorrow we were able to snap our fingers and completely fix the climate crisis. I would still be an antinatalist. Exactly, Jonquil. Patriarchy would still exist. Beatrix, yes. I would love to be adopted by Jonquil and Consuelo. Goodness gracious. Can you guys believe this is my first live stream and I'm at 45 minutes? What am I doing? Also, what are you guys all doing here? Don't you have better things to do? Not that I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful because otherwise, why can't you see Beatrix talking? Here, I just showed in the screen what she said. I don't know why you can't see it. This is your better thing. Oh. Is this about to be awkward? Let's move on. Yeah, I don't really have anything to do this evening. So after I got fired up with my friend and then she had to go to a meeting, I was like, I'm not done. So I was like, let's go live on YouTube for my first time and rant about American apocalypse. God. Um, Beatrix says there's top chat and live chat. Maybe try switching to the live chat option. I don't know. I have experienced that problem too, though, where I haven't seen things that people are replying to when I've watched live streams, and then I switched it to show all live chat instead of top chat. I don't know why they even have that option. I guess it's for people who have like thousands of viewers. Viper, I'm not saying that right. Viper, and I don't know. Which apocalypse are we discussing today? The one that America is heading toward. The fact that the Pennsylvania Senate today had attempts to like literally overthrow swearing in a Democratic senator, that Jacob Blake's murderers were not indicted today, that Americans need to have some kind of a French Revolution situation going on. That's kind of what we were talking about. Mariana, I hear what you're saying. The money for being a surrogate sounds good, but I know you said you're brand new to radical feminism. Also, I know you're only 13. There is some seriously fucked up stuff in our world and our society where you can pay a woman to rent her body to grow a human. That is really scary and really wrong. And yeah, you'd be there's a podcast that I can recommend. I have to find it. It's on the Feminist Current podcast by Megan Murphy, but the particular episode I'm going to recommend, just give me a second to find it because I want to make sure I've got the right one. And it's all about this, about surrogacy. Feminist Current, where is it? Just give me a minute. Okay. The Feminist Current podcast, you can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, on the Feminist Current website. It was from May 11th, 2020. It's called Women as Breeders, Renata Klein on the Harms of Surrogacy. Highly recommend that episode. It was brilliant. It was so brilliant. Highly recommend. Mariana, I would so suggest you listen to that. Feminist Current podcast from May 11th, 2020. Women as Breeders, Renata Klein on the Harms of Surrogacy. Viper, because we as non-Americans have no choice but to know what's going on in your country because it's everywhere all the time. Hi, Lisa Michelle. Yeah, it's not just a body, it's you. Your body is you. And it's quite frankly no different than being prostituted. You're selling yourself, the use of your body, to men for money. It's not just as simple as being just a body. It's yourself, it's your soul, it's your integrity. Like, please listen to that podcast. Can I like put something on the screen? I don't know. Let's be honest, art is here. Made it alive. Yes, I was ranting and I needed to description. Oh, okay. In the fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. I thought maybe I could put some text up on the screen or something with the podcast information, but I guess I can't. Or maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. Green screen, general. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. God. Culture only, are you asking in good faith or are you being contrarian? Because how many times have radical feminists heard the argument about when we talk about being anti-prostitution, we hear, how is it any different than working in McDonald's? So yes, exactly. Let's remember, it doesn't require your sexual organs. Was it Gail Dines, who I'm going to paraphrase here, and I might not even have the right woman, but she said something like, when somebody argued that flipping burgers is no different than being a prostitute, she had said to him, and it was a man, she said to him, well, then would you prefer to flip burgers or would you like to bend over and get fucked in the ass? And of course he said burgers. And she said to him, so you do know that there is a difference. I'm pretty sure it was Gail Dines. What do I think about comparing prostitution and surrogacy to the military? I literally have never, ever heard a single comparison like this. So I don't know. I would need to read up on that or hear some arguments. I've never, ever heard somebody talk about, oh, was it Bindle? Oh, I thought it was Gail Dines, but okay, maybe it was Bindle. Man, I can't believe there's 19 people here right now. What the heck? And all of my faves. That's so nice. I'm like, wow. Mariana, please listen to that podcast I suggested. There's so much information that you don't know about. You're very young. You're only 13, I know, but it's the Feminist Current podcast from May 11th, 2020. Renata Klein. Oh, wait a second. It's called Women as I can't type. Women as Breeders. Renata Klein on the harms of surrogacy. I wouldn't compare prostitution to wage labor, but in the military, you are selling your body, sort of. Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I don't agree with the military either. Like, I'm anti-imperialist, for one thing. Uh, I would need to look into some more information, but I think based on just that one sentence you gave there, I would agree. When compared prostitute, but in the military, you are selling your body, sort of. Yeah, yeah, sure. You're selling your body to what is often imperialism. Um, Performing the army still doesn't require the use of your sexual organs unless you're a woman, because we all know, well, maybe we don't all know, but I certainly know the statistics of female military service people and rape, and how prevalent it is. It's like exponentially more prevalent in within the military service people than in civilians. So I don't necessarily agree that being in the army, especially the American military, is not requiring the use of your sexual organs. Yes, that's not a requirement when you enlist, but it certainly is a price that you are probably going to pay if you're a woman in the military. 1/3, yeah. I mean, yeah. I needed to put some people on a timeout because I don't have the energy. Working on a video on how capitalism exploits poor young people by getting them to join the army. Yes, 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 yes. Particularly the American military, right? Like it's not necessarily the case in militaries around the world. I sorry, I obviously don't really support militaries around the world, but it's particularly true of the American military and exploiting poor people, because of the promise of education, of housing, of a job, and it's really sad because the American military knows what it's doing. They know that they can get a fresh load of new young people from poor backgrounds, and that the military is perhaps one of the only options for young women and men of color, especially, right? Yes. How many countries still have conscription? I have no idea. Korea and Israel for sure. I'm certain there's many more, right? But I have no clue. That's scary though, conscription. Oof. It's the only way to access socialism in the United States. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For the period of time that you're in it. And then once you are discharged or whatever they call it, well, it's like, well, fuck you, bye. Like, you know, people always talk about American military veterans, and how they have high rates of depression and suicide, homelessness, you know. So it's only somewhat socialist, quote unquote, when you're in it. And when you're done, fuck you. Yeah. No good. No good. No, no worries, Lisa Michelle. You're not derailing. It's fine. 60 countries. While a reinvigorated draft may alarm U.S. citizens, nearly 60 countries around the world still have some sort of conscription. Whoa! 60? Damn. That's a good chunk. That's like, what, 30% of the world, give or take, has a conscription of some kind? Wow. It's all bullshit. This has been an hour now, y'all. Like, I feel weird. Like, maybe I should go. I don't know. I guess we're all just chilling, I guess. I don't know. I've never done this before. Viper. I hope I'm saying your name right, Viper, or Viper, Viper. I'm sorry. But she says the female body was made to sustain itself. Yes. We have the capability to create life, yes, but it is far from our purpose. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Oh, Lisa Michelle, that's very nice. When can we find out about your next live chat? I don't know. I didn't plan this. I was ranting with a friend and then she had to go and I wasn't done ranting, so I decided to come on here and do it. Apparently, Jonquil Jones says click my notification bell if you subscribe to the channel and then click the little bell thing. It will tell you when I'm going live. Maybe I'll try to plan one sometime and be like, hey, yo, I'm going to go live. But I don't know. I didn't plan to do this. It just worked this way, I guess. I thought I might try to live stream with a friend and see if she would be interested in having a little radical feminist chat with me. I have 2 friends in mind, so we'll see. Yeah, Lisa Michelle, I would like to see your video about the military too. Lisa Michelle. Do I just search your name, Lisa Michelle, on YouTube to find your channel? Oh no, there's so many options. Feel free to type in the chat where we can find you. Because I searched for your name on YouTube and I got many, many, many Lisa Michelles. So I don't know which one you are. Try LA Fresh Life. Oh. LA Fresh Life. Aha, there you are. Okay, I'll subscribe too. Here she is, y'all. Oh, there we go. Jonquil. You can find her in the comments on my channel. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh man, look at all these videos. Medical misogyny. Why I stopped wearing makeup. Ooh, that's right up my alley. Speaking up for girls and women's sports. Oh my ovaries. Oh my gosh. I know what I'm doing for the rest of the evening. Okay. Yeah, Rusty. It is so nice that, like, I remember I said I was going, but now I have something else to say. I remember a time when, like, the only radical feminist or, like, radical leaning or, like, kind of gender critical women I knew on YouTube, were literally only Terry Strange. That's the only one I knew. And we all know, well, I keep saying we all know, but maybe we don't all know. But I certainly know that went off the deep end. So to now know I am subscribed to like over 100 radical leaning or like gender critical or, you know, in that sphere women, you'll love to see it. That's right. You love to see it. And I hope more women like make channels. Like, it takes nothing, honestly. I record all of my videos on, oh, Lisa, that's so nice. I'm glad to find your channel. I record all of my videos literally on just the voice recorder app on my phone. And then I just put it into Wondershare and add a background to it, and that's it. It takes nothing. You don't even have to do that. I just add the background, but you don't even have to do that. It's so simple, and the more voices, the better. So, okay, I am actually going to go now. This has been an hour and 5 minutes. I appreciate all of you so much for being here and talking with me. I wasn't sure if even anyone was going to be here. I was just going to rant, but we had some really great discussions. We found some new channels to subscribe to. We connected with each other. We sparked new topics and things to think about. Wow, what a lovely little chat and community this has been. I'm really happy. This is my first ever live stream. So it really is going to set the standard high for ever doing it again. Okay. Have a great evening, everybody. Morning, I think, in Australia for Rusty. Afternoon, I don't know. Yep. Have a great day, everybody. Great evening, great day, etc. Bye. I'm going to end this if I can figure out how to. Don't make fun of me. Okay, bye.